There's a storm across the valley. The clouds are rolling in. The afternoon is heavy on your shoulders. There's a truck out on the 4-lane, a mile or more away. The whining of his wheels just makes it colder.
Welcome to Community Forum. My name is Priscilla Almquist-Olsen, your host. Today is November 2nd, 2021, and we're here in the studio after a long siege with the pandemic. And so I want to welcome Julie Brennan to my left, and Sandy D'Souza to my right, and Sandy's son, Sandy De Silva. Okay. I'll get those names. All right. And today we're going to first start out with an announcement of a very special event which happens in 2 days, Thursday, November 4th. Julie, you want to tell us about it?
Yes, so Thursday, 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock, we'll be at the Holy Cross Church in the Parish Center, and we are bringing to Easton a holiday shopping night. That holiday shopping night is hosted by We Do Care, Grief and Loss Inc. We are based here at Easton, and it is a fundraising event so that we can raise funds for our teen program. Our teen program is brand new. It's only a couple months old because some of the children in our We Do Care group have aged up, and then we've also gotten a lot of new members.
So let's explain the mission of this organization.
Sandy, you want to explain it?
Sure. So the mission of We Do Care is to build a strong, in a sense, a strong mom, to then go ahead and if she's strong and comfortable in her life, then that will also do the same for our children, because then they'll see that mom has kind of made it through this journey, and they're much better than what they were from like the first day that it happened.
Okay, we have to talk about what happened. For the viewing audience, this is about delivering services and care to adults who have lost their spouses and to children who have lost their father or mother. Most of the people in the groups are women. There are occasionally some widowers, but it's what Sandy was talking about was that it's the moms who basically search out for this and benefit from this group. So in that respect, so this holiday shopping night at Holy Cross Church in Southeastern on Purchase Street from 6 to 9 on Thursday, November 4th, 2021, will benefit the very new teen discussion group. And so we have here a member, and that is Joseph Silva. Joseph, would you tell me a little bit about what you like about the group and why you think it's important for you personally and maybe for some of your friends?
Well, it made me a couple of new friends, and I don't know, it just kind of, I don't know how to word it. Like more people to talk to, and you can, like, there could be new people just come out of nowhere. You can talk to them.
So are you a longtime member, Joseph?
Only a year.
Oh, well, that's pretty long. So you're able to benefit the new people who come along, right? Because they have anxieties, they have concerns, and you've gone through much of it. So have you noticed that you've been able to be of great help to some new members?
A little bit.
So Priscilla, I just want to interject. He became a member in May of 2020. So you remember May of 2020
Yeah, sure.
was the height of the pandemic. So Sandy lost her husband a year ago this spring during the pandemic. And I wish we could have done more for Joseph and for Sandy during that time. Unfortunately, we had to keep everyone safe. So we were doing drive-ups at that time. We were not doing support groups because we couldn't meet in person. And so what we were doing is we were doing having the women in our group come and drive up in front of my house right here at Easton, and we would fill their cars with whatever we felt they needed, from paper towels, toilet paper, cleaners, masks, to food that we could get. The first couple, we bought it with our funding that we had for We Do Care. And then my brother's keeper stepped up and really helped us for a couple of those and made sure our families were fed. And it was really important at that time to keep our moms healthy. We didn't want our women getting sick, because if they did, they're the only one there for their kids. That was really important. So Joseph is now a part of our in-person groups, which came back together in June of this year.
Well, this is a magnificent group. Sandy, you have
Absolutely.
been, you have benefited
you.
from this group. And tell us a little bit about how it was when you lost your husband, and then how this group came and saved your life.
It did. That's the first thing. So, oddly enough, was my son's teacher told me about it. She was friends with Julie, and like I know I've said this to Julie and so many of the other, we call them warriors, that he knew that I lost, that my family, I mean, I have a family, but his family, my husband's family, I was really close to. And when he wasn't here and my in-laws were not here, he sent me another family. And like, Julie's not just like one of the warriors. She's my sister. Like I say that all the time. I mean, there's so many of them there. I become really close to.
That's wonderful. And that's so needed, isn't it? You need to have that bond of friendship and love, and in order to feel secure and comforted when you've gone through such a terrible, horrific experience.
Yeah, it does. They understand. They
Right, you've been there.
They just get it.
So Julie, tell me about your experience too. I mean, you're the founder of this group and one of the facilitators. And Sandy, are you a facilitator also in the group?
Not yet, but she will be soon.
Okay. So tell me, Julie, how you got started and how this idea came to you.
So I've actually lived in Easton, Massachusetts for a little over 8 years. When my family and I moved to Easton, it was our starting over. My now husband, Tom, and I moved with our children that are very young. A little over 11 years ago, I lived just down the street in Brockton, Mass. And my partner, who I expected to marry and spend the rest of my life with, my partner, Johnny, he died in an automobile accident on Valentine's Day, 2010. It was definitely one of those split-second things that happens in life, and your entire trajectory of your life gets changed. There was a knock on my door from the police that notified me that Johnny had passed away in a car accident, and as his next of kin, they were notifying me. My 3-year-old son, our 3-year-old son, was sleeping upstairs, and I was 3 months pregnant. So there were a lot of things that I was lucky for. I was fortunate that I was pregnant with our second child, who ended up 6 months later being another baby boy. I was fortunate that because I was pregnant, I was connected to Maureen Walsh, who's the most remarkable grief counselor that I've ever met. I was able to start my healing and my journey of learning about grief really quickly. She called me 2 days after he died. As a mom, my one concern was, how was my son Jace at 3 years old going to be normal? How was he going to have a regular childhood? And how was I going to be able to provide him everything that he needed? It wasn't about me. I was an adult. And of course, I missed and loved my person. But it was about being a mom bear and making sure that I was going to be there and figure out to get him everything he needed. And then 6 months later, you know, I was that single mom and I had 2 babies to take care of. So I had 2 kids in childcare. It was like a second mortgage payment. When Johnny died, I had $3,000 in the bank because he was unemployed for 14 months. So it was really tough. I was fortunate that at that time, although we didn't have life insurance, I worked as a teacher for Boston Public, so Boston Public Schools. So I had a decent salary. There was hardly anything left after I paid for our mortgage, all of our bills, and the 2 kids in childcare. Luckily, Jace was 3 years old, so there's only a couple more years of childcare. And then, so we moved to Easton. And the coolest thing about moving to Easton is there's these Easton moms, there's these women that are incredible. And I remember thinking, Priscilla, that when I moved here, I could just be Julie, I could just be me. I don't have to continue We Do Care. I could just not do it. However, I kept getting these little pokes of, you have to do it. You need to make sure that these women get the connection, these kids get the connection, and you have to keep the organization going. So there was this time, I think 6 years ago, I believe it was about 6 years ago, a little after this time, where I wanted to get the moms that I knew, I wanted to get them a Christmas gift. I knew that their husband wasn't here to give them a Christmas gift or to take the kids shopping. So I asked the Easton Moms group if they would help me get 15 gifts for Christmas. And those ladies really wanted to help the moms and all the kids. So it ended up this viral effect that they helped me pull off a Christmas party. So that happened at Holy Cross Church in Easton, which I happen to be a member of. And from there, with the exception of last year because of COVID, we've had a holiday party every year.
Are the Eastern moms still helping you?
All the time.
All the time, right?
All the time. All the
How
time.
many people do you serve on an average week?
So we have 30 adult members right now, and each one of those members has 1 to 3 children.
Oh my goodness.
We do have one member that has 4 kids.
Wow, that is a large group to service.
The toughest part, Priscilla, is every day I get either a Facebook message, an email, a text, or a phone call. So every day there's somebody else waiting around the corner that needs to talk to us, needs to know what to do, needs to know how to apply for the survivor benefits from Social Security. There's a lot that goes on. I do work full-time, so there's only so much I can do part-time. My husband now, Tom, he's been excellent and he's been supportive. It's definitely come to a point where we just need a lot more volunteers. We need people to help out and answer those phone calls and answer those emails. And right now we're calling people ambassadors of hope. So an ambassador of hope is someone that they might drop off a care package to someone for us, or they might call someone that they know that recently lost their spouse and say, hey, you know what, there's this program, you should check them out. So,
Okay, so are you looking for people who have not lost their spouses and single people who can help support the organization?
without a doubt, and even people that maybe they are the grown-up version of my kids. Maybe they lost their mom or their dad when they were a kid, and maybe that would make them and help them feel a little bit better to give back to an organization like this, even if it's just an hour a week.
But there are lots of people who have not lost a parent.
True.
And who really care about doing good and contributing to the community and helping people. You know, that's kind of a basic human
Absolutely.
need, isn't it, to help and to have purpose. Now, I'm
Do you
retired.
know the whole point of We Do Care?
What is it?
The whole point of We Do Care is to get as many people as we can to give a huge care. So in giving a care, you're giving love from your heart, doesn't cost any money. You could give your time. You could help a kid like Joseph and be a mentor. We're starting a mentor program. You could show up at one of our events and just move stuff around and set up raffles. You know, you could maybe be an accountant and help us out with some of our financial planning and
Challenges,
yeah. So there's so many places that people could help.
Okay, so let's have some information on contact information so that the people who are viewing today can contact you and offer their talents and time and services.
That would be wonderful. So it's easy. It's wedocare.org. That is our website. You can send us an email right there. It'll probably be Sandy or I answering that email. Yeah.
Now, I was
so-
thinking there are, I'm retired, and there are a lot of retired people who,
Then you can help us.
well, I'm doing a lot of things.
Okay.
But
We can schedule.
But I could, right, I could. And what I'm suggesting though is that, people who are retired, they feel if they need to continue to have a purpose, a purpose in life.
And they have so much
And-
knowledge to share.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, I know retired people who are working at the Easton Food Pantry, for
Okay.
example,
Okay.
and people who are interviewing people on ECAT, and getting the word out about wonderful organizations like yours. And so let me just say this again. It's wedocare.org.
Correct.
We do care, D-O, not D-E-W, wedocare.org.
Because all of
There we
us
go.
really do care, right?
Right. And
We're also on Facebook for those people that are on social media. We're also on Facebook. You can find us. How you will know that it's us, our symbol is a heart hugging a heart. A widow actually designed this logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, a young widow, one of the first that I met. And then I was gifted this at our second Christmas party.
Now, of the 30 people, 30 adults that are in your organization right now, are they all Easton residents?
No.
No. So what are the communities that you serve?
You ready for the list?
Yeah, it's
All right,
quite a
so
few.
Brockton, Easton, Canton, Stoughton, Sharon, Bridgewaters, Taunton. We have 4 families in Taunton.
Rainham.
Rainham?
Fall River,
Fall River.
Dartmouth,
It's a little bit of a
South
hike.
Boston,
Norton?
Norton. Yes, Norton.
So
I'm
all
sure I'm
the-
forgetting some, but it's all over. We have 2 from Rhode Island.
Uh-huh,
Mhm.
wow.
It's all over.
So
It's pretty
the-
much just
word of
everywhere.
mouth.
Like, yeah, no, it's not like, a lot of times someone just, you really just want someone to talk to.
Mhm.
Or just, we have our support group once a month. It's just knowing that someone, if it's a couple of us, if it's, you make a connection with somebody and you just have somebody that knows what you're going through every single day. Like, grief doesn't just
No,
go away.
disappear.
It's
Priscilla,
just,
I wanna, sorry, Sandy. I wanna just interject something that I've heard from the kids. So there's little kids that come, there's newborns that come. We have a woman right now that has a baby just like me, that was born after her husband passed. So what I've heard from the children that are young is they say to their mom, I don't have a secret anymore. So they feel like they're not the only one that has lost their dad. It's important for them to meet other kids and know, oh, at school, I'm the only kid that lost their dad or their mom. But when I come to this group, all these kids, they're here for the same reason.
And so it does create, for the children, a sense of normalcy, that they're not weird or unusual.
They're not an outcast.
Huh?
They're not an outcast.
Not an outcast, right. That's wonderful, yeah. Okay, so wedocare.org, that's where you start originally. So everybody, just check that out. And you may know people who would like to contribute and maybe have some events in their lives where they resonate to this organization. It may not be you, but it may be someone you know. So please check us out, wedocare.org. Do be at that holiday shopping night. It's one of their major fundraisers, and we will post that flyer at the end of this show. And where is it located? It's at the Holy Cross Church on Purchase Street in Southeastern, number
225 Purchase Street,
225.
Holy Cross Church in the Parish Center, 6
Yeah.
o'clock to 9 o'clock. There's 12 vendors, all women-owned companies, most of them based right here in Easton or really close to Easton. And the way that you get to be highlighted at an event like that is you're a giver, you're a donor. Whether you're a donor of your time, your gifts, your talent, but all of the people that are at our holiday shopping night are people that love us, and we want to give them love back.
Oh, that's wonderful, wonderful. And so get some early shopping. We've all heard about all the boats that are lined up in San Francisco, and how every day there's an admonition to shop early, because if you wait till December, there may not be anything in the stores.
Priscilla, did you know that 20% of the sales that night, each vendor agreed to give us 20% of their sales?
Oh my goodness,
Isn't that
is
amazing?
wonderful.
It is,
Yeah.
and that's, that'll go towards our teen group, so that way they can do more things together. They can go on places that maybe they wouldn't be able to, because it's just,
Too
it's just a month,
expensive.
yeah.
So I'm sure there's going to be a donation box also, so that bring your checkbook if you want to make a donation directly to the organization. And, oh yes, I think of everything. You see, that's one of the benefits of age. You've been there.
Experience.
Experience.
I love it. I love it.
Okay, so thank you again so much.
Thank you.
Thanks so
And,
much.
and
Thank you
to-
for having us.
Appreciate it.
And to the viewing audience, check out wedocare.org and see where you can be of help. And share the story, share the love, and share the connection. We appreciate it. Take care. All the best. This
Thank
is
you.
Thank you.
Priscilla Almquist-Olsen and her guest Sandy De Silva and her son Joseph Souza and Julie Brennan, founder of this wonderful, wonderful organization right here in Easton. Thank you for watching. Until next time, be well.
You're awesome. That's good.